Hey everybody, it's Mike over here at Growtopia, and we are at the stage of cleanup. Now we're going to do this as much as we can. Today is a nice, beautiful day. It is about 5 in the afternoon. It's June 8th of 2026, Zone 7A, Long Island, New York, and we got a lot of cleanup. But what's good with the cleanup though is we get to actually go through everything. I shut off the automatic watering system for the orchard because we really don't need the water. As soon as I step outside, I swear to God. So we're going to start trying to break down each section at a time. It's about 5 o'clock. I want to put an hour into this, listen to some music, and if I can go a little bit further than an hour, being it's 5 o'clock, I usually don't start dinner till like 7. So I actually really have 2 hours. So being it's now 69 degrees and it's going to be dropping down to 56 degrees tonight, it's a perfect opportunity to kind of push and try to get as much as I can cleaned up before it gets hot, because we got like 90-degree days coming. So we're going to get to cranking, and hopefully you guys will see a lot less carnage on the ground, of course. And then we'll just go from there, of course. You know, and there's going to be a lot of sweeping, a lot of cleaning, a lot of blowing, a lot of vacuuming with the hose, and then also tracking down the lines, which actually does remind me is I do have 2 lines that are going out here, but only one of them was active. So all the lines are going to get ripped out and they're going to get it replaced, and the only line that stays is that one to the greenhouse. And I still have to replace the greenhouse, or not replace it but fix it, and I got the parts for that as well, so I'm going to do that before the sun goes down. So there's going to be a little bit of mix of that and this at the same time. But I got new cutters that I bought from Amazon, so let's see how these work out. And like I say, for everybody, is I'm not sponsored by anything. If people want to sponsor me, that's great. If you don't want to sponsor me, I don't care. But this is what I'm going to be using today. This is basically just cutting the chicken wire to separate it from the wood, so I could throw it in the back of the army truck, and then everything gets processed, which will be another video. But literally this week is literally all about cleanup. So here we go. So like everything else I do is all improv. So let's try something, right? It's on a Mark II. My first song. So bear with me. I got one string in the center that don't want to work. I've been working on this land. I've been doing all by myself. I got no hands and I got no help. Sometimes blue music is the only thing I got in my hands. I got a broken guitar string, but I can also kind of sort of sing. I've been trying to get this done lately, so I can get done to my next project. I gotta lay down some foam or insulation fabric to keep the weeds from coming in. got tired of my fingers bleeding. So I bought myself a medium guitar pick from Fender. Now I have no training, as you can tell. But I've been enjoying the fun of this. I sound a little off tune, depending on which way I run the pick along the strings. I realize if I put it over the hole, it sounds a lot better versus me putting it outside the hole. Don't run it that way! That's the way nobody likes it anyway. I got a little bit more to go. But I got myself somewhere that needs to go. Now it's easier on the baser side than it is on the crumble side, but ow! This Home Depot bucket is giving me pains in my ass, and I got more to do before the night is through. So what I'm gonna do, get off this Home Depot bucket. I'm gonna go back to working. Stop stringing along. My fingers are getting tired. Well, it's Monday, June 8th of 2026. And, well, it's crunch out here. These fuckers find my feet. It's gonna be fun to swoop up. Don't work for the squirrels, ain't working for me. But we did get as much as we could out of here. And we threw it in the back of the armored truck. And now is the next stage. So originally I was thinking like Sherman on a Lincoln, was to good Lord Almighty. Every time in my head I'm like, yeah, I got another idea. And then I look at it and I go, that's a horrible idea. Well, the army truck is, well, loaded. With a bunch of strings attached to it. So we're going to start them up. Strings and wires and cables and fun. Everything that goes along with backwoods. Fun. Well, let's see. Grab our handy dandy key. Dig in there. Ignition number. Find the hole. Is that the hole? Might be the hole. Okay. Push down the pedal. Do 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 do. All right, good. Thank God. Otherwise, this will be a really short video. Now, if it's squealing, it ain't running. Let's see. The combination is F U. People. Alright, cool, the gate's open. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, a little bit. stay. Come on. Open sesame! Against the one, the poison ivy! Actually, it's not poison ivy, but just doing it, make it theatrical. Whew. I gotta clean my glasses. I cannot see what I'm not trying to do. Well, we were running. We were running. And so were they. With that UFO. Undyne, flying. It is June, so I was gonna say phenomenon, but you could all put something else behind that. I'm kidding. We all know they're phenomenons. Phenomenon. Oh, hell. A lot of the shit's gonna get caught. I'm trying to get out of here. Woo! Smokey Robinson, here we come. Holy crap in a cracker. I gotta clean my glasses off before we start this fiasco. Stand by for a few seconds here. Now, originally, and I keep going back to it until I actually see it. You guys actually haven't, the camera really does not do it justice. You will tomorrow. See the insanity before I unload my load from what we have here. Because it is utterly a load nobody can see. It's crazy. Oh, wait. We can almost see the load that I have. This load is enough of a load to make you not to want to unload it tonight. I don't want to unload it tonight. That far. But I do want to move the truck off to the side tonight, just so I can be an asshole, pick my neighbors up, and just be an asshole. That's about it. I just say that I could do it. I don't know. I like to be like Jim Brew, you know, just completely and utterly tell everybody that we can do things that you can't do, and just, oh, fuck, I have a UFO of wood on the back of my truck. So we're gonna UFO myself out of here, and we're gonna put it off to the side, and we're gonna unload it early tomorrow morning. And then we're going to come back out here and clean up the rest of it, because I have tomorrow off because I needed it. So let's do that. So as we meander into an army truck wearing the most June style pants. Oh! Mother of God! Christmas in Jersey. Here we go. This is horrible to have a flash on. I'm not trying to flash everybody, but I'm on about 8% right now, so we're going to get rid of the flash. Give me 1 second. Hey, is anybody else realize that their phones have turned into like the world's worst pathetic excuse for anything? I'm on 6%. My phone is literally acting like it can't do anything. And I'm like, I'm on negative 1,000% right now as a person. I've been up since bumfuck about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm out here fucking trying to rip shit down from the farm and put it outside, and gonna put the army truck back out there and keep going. And my phone is at 6% going like, I can't do this. Like what is this shit? Like, I feel like technology is just literally dumbing us all down if you're allowing it, because it doesn't allow me to dumb it down. But it's like horrible when I'm like trying to film, my phone's at like 6% and it's like, I don't know what to do. I can't do this. This is so hard. Like, no, motherfucker. Like, you know what hard is? Is loading all this wood in the back of my truck by myself because nobody wants to help me. Everybody's got all of a sudden a new excuse. And hey, look, that's fine. You know, you got a girlfriend, you got a boyfriend, you got a dog, you got a lie, whatever the fuck it is. You know, you want to come up with shit. Hey, man, that's cool, you know. Whatever it is that makes you feel good inside. But you know what makes me feel good inside? Is I do all this shit by myself. And I ask people for help and nobody helps me. So that makes me feel really good inside. So, nevertheless, I'm going to offload the shit on the side of my property with my strings dangly down. And I'm going to go back out there and put more in the back of my truck and keep offloading it and then turn it all into firewood. And by the time somebody wants to help me, it's probably going to be too late. Because, well, I'm literally running a phone that's on 4% now with 2 lights on it because the light on the phone doesn't want to light itself brighter because it does scare to the environment. And showing you guys what's growing on the bed of my truck. Look at this. In case you guys are wondering, like the amount of wood that's in here. So I'm either stringing on my guitar or I'm just dumping some wood and filling up another load on my 1986 United States military truck. Waking up the neighborhood. Who cares? Hey, my taxes go to their fucking sitting around, so I'm gonna do my shit. Work on my farm, so fuck them. It's farming time, baby. Monday. Going into Tuesday. Look at this. Okay? I know it's horrible. We don't really see the full allure of the wood, but it's gonna be fun. I'm just gonna unload it, just drop it on the ground and just keep growing. Keep going. That's it. Later. You know what's funny is most people will never see this unless you're like I am. You're from the country, right? So you got a Silverado with high beams on, blasting country music, next to an 86 military truck, offloading it so we can go back to the farm. And it's, let's see, my phone's on 10%. It's about 10:22 at night. You're not gonna see that anywhere else in America. And we're using like stupid freaking spotlights here that are these little sheep shit that I've had for a while. Just they're magnets, so we stick them back the army truck to try to see one fella over there. And just keep rolling, you know. That's how we put the lights on at night. So the lights on, put a little music on, and a nice little drink. Oh, as I stumble around my yard. So here's most of the wood that we ripped out of the truck last night. Couldn't really see, but so there's that. Let's take a look at what's going on in the growing area. Okay, while we're in the back over here, showing you some other stuff. We have our rhubarb is doing pretty good. Our tomatoes look like they're doing, you know, they're doing okay. When Amish Pace, I guess, didn't make it. The green zebra. I'm really not hard pressed this year on growing anything. Just more or less, I'm just trying to, you know, not smash into the greenhouse. But anyway, so last night I was going to work today. I took off from work, but I got to really give my body a rest. My feet are killing me. My hands are killing me. But myself and I cleared up the gate and the fence area. That was fun. I did this whole section over here. I definitely want to move the army truck over, but that's not important at the moment. I went through here. I got as much as I could going through all the beds. Of course, the sprinkler line and the sprinkler heads are the only thing I'm going to be saving when it comes to material. like I said, the wood and the hardware and whatever's on it and stuff is all going to end up being recycled. Whatever's usable, I'm going to reuse. Whatever's not usable, it's going to get thrown away. Obviously, the strings I'm done with, and the what else? And the chicken wire as well. I have cuts all over my body where I literally looked like I got bit by a vampire last night. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, I got that. It's kind of like bruised as well. I got cuts all up and down there. My legs were all cut up. Probably should have been wearing pants and long sleeves, but it is what it is. But this is weird. Definitely looked like I got bit by a fucking snake. Who knows? Maybe I did. Anyway, so all I have left. I keep saying we. I don't know why I say we. I'm the only one doing this. So I asked for help from a lot of people. Everybody had excuses, so I'm going to keep it that way and just do this myself. Honestly, it's just more honorable than having a bunch of people who just are fakers. So I got this to get rid of. I got the rest of this fence section. That's 2 sections, plus the corner, and plus this little strip right here. So this is literally, all of this is going to fit in the bed of the army truck with no problem. And then once I completely get that out of here, and that's up in the truck, then I'm going to start going into my next stage. And my next stage is leveling everything that's in here. So the planters that I have that are in here, some of the planters I think that are over there, unfortunately a lot of this soil that has stuff growing in it like this, I consider it contaminated. Okay, it's got weeds and seeds in it, and it's done. It's contaminated. The raspberries I'm going to try to get out of here as best I can, and I have no idea where I'm going to stick them, but they got to come out of here because this whole area is going to get leveled out. So if they don't come out, they're going to get buried. It is what it is, for better lack of words. I do have asparagus. It just seems like it's never wants to take off. You know, which kind of sucks. It's been growing like this for a while. So I might, this is Mary Washington asparagus. So probably what I'm going to end up doing with this is I'm going to pull this out, as well as trying to get the asparagus out. I've been hunting down my my gauges if I see them. Yeah, as definitely with the asparagus, the blueberry bush, and try with the raspberry to get that out as well. All the other stuff is going to stay. You know, like the catmint is going to stay. What I'm going to end up doing, so here's the other thing too I kept running into, is these things. These were like stabilizers. So I find them, I just pull them out and just throw them in the truck. So I got to go through this area kind of like with a fine-tooth comb and make sure I grab everything under the sun that I can grab. Pull out the sprinkler line and stuff and go from there. This whole area's got to get swept up and cleaned up, bagged and thrown away. There's 4 of them. Okay. Bricks and stuff. But yeah, no, this is going to be good. Yeah, I got to go through here with a rake. Rake down the big mounds. Oh. Let's see what else. Just going to ramble on about a bunch of things so I can edit all this out and stick it all into one big video. I didn't get to the greenhouse, so I'm taking a break. My hands are killing me, my feet are killing me. But yeah, it's basically what my plan is. And then whatever I take out of here that I'm going to save, I'm just going to throw it into the greenhouse temporarily until I could get the beds and stuff for it, just so it kind of sort of somewhat stays alive. If I could possibly keep it alive. If not, whatever, you know. I could always buy another blueberry bush. I could always buy another raspberry, maybe a smaller raspberry bush, I'm going to say, nothing as big as this thing. Or I might just take the raspberry bush and throw it in the bushes. And then I could have, you know, I could have raspberries growing on my property that's not in a contained space. because I have them up front currently, and it is a massive mess up there with them. But hopefully this weekend I will be starting the because I got to mow and rake at the same time. So, and I don't really want to run this over with my lawnmower. I don't know if I can actually run it over and suck it up, because then at that point I'm just going to be running it over and then bagging it. But we'll see. We will see what's going to happen. There's a lot of garbage that's got to get picked up out of here, so we'll see what's going to happen. I got metal poles everywhere and stuff. I got these things that for you connect them together for making like the archways and stuff. Or not the archways, but put the coverings on. So I got a bunch of stuff to kind of all put together, and when I get a burst of energy is to repair the greenhouse. It's just my hands are killing me. My hands hurt. My feet are killing me. So that's it so far. Alright guys, just an update here. Let's see, it is Saturday, June 13th. I wasn't really going to come outside today, but I decided to at the worst possible time, around 11-12 o'clock. I'm currently standing in the shade. We got the army truck loaded right now with the rest of the wood ripped up and the chicken wire. Going through the beds, just making sure there's no other wood left over. Our next stage for this weekend is cleanup. Cleanup meaning like all the spike stuff, all the garbage has to be all swept up, and the planters that are here that are just unusable dirt at this point, they're so infested with weeds, they're gonna get dumped into here to where I need to level stuff. Like I gotta level this bed out, I gotta dump that one over there, I gotta level the beds out. Like I said, we're gonna be actually extending the growing area actually out to this strip of concrete that's here. Now of course you see, like, you got this one piece of concrete that's like humped up in the air, so obviously I'm not going to really be putting anything on here, but I probably could put stuff in between it and just kind of put the soil where I need it. Whew, it's hot out here, but yeah, no, it's going pretty good. This week is literally just last week was the tear down. This week is the cleanup and the mowing of everything, mowing it all down. Next week will be the leveling of everything, and then possibly starting to laying down the weed barrier. But I'm taking this nice and slow throughout the summer. Last 2 days were in the hundreds, so today's is 80, 81, so it's not bad, but the humidity's high. So I'm just kind of pacing myself, drinking plenty of water and beer at the same time. And I'm about to offload that, come back with a garbage pail and a broom, and then try to sweep up what I can, put it in the garbage pail, and then I'm going to run the mower through here and get rid of all the weeds, run it down as low as I can, try to suck up as much of the crap on the ground, and I'm just going to throw it away, because I don't want to put it in the compost, and those weeds will then eventually come back if I want to put them into the beds. So anything that I'm looking to getting rid of, or if anybody's looking to get rid of stuff and they don't want it to come back, don't put it in your compost barrels or a bucket. I run two different kinds. I have the barrels, and then I have the garbage pails over there. So the barrels, they rotate, right? They rotate if you move them yourself. And then once they're full, I still rotate them. I add a little water to them and stuff. But once they're full, I don't add anything else to them. Everything goes into those garbage pails, which they will actually, you know, decay on their own, because there's holes inside of them as well, and I add water to it as well. So they're also kind of like a secondary. Those were my first compost barrels, where the garbage pails were. And then I bought the drums because I like how I could rotate the mixture, kind of like a cement mixer. I just advise you, if you're rotating it, just don't wear clothes you want to, you know, wear when you're sitting inside the house, because you get like this brown juice that hits you, and you don't realize it until like later on. You're like, what's that weird smell? You're like, oh, it's me. Okay, clothes off, take a shower, and then you end up going back outside, rotating the drum, and you're like, what's that smell? Oh shit, it's me again. Oh, you're an idiot. So always try to keep that stuff separate from yourself, obviously. So yeah, so I'm gonna dump that load, clean off the truck, grab a garbage pail, a broom, and then the next stage after that's done is taking the lawnmower through here and trying to suck up the leaves and the vines and the weeds and stuff in the area. Throw all that stuff out into a bag, and that'll be it for this weekend. Yeah. All right. Let's boogie. Oh man. We get ready here. All right. 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. Well, the dust, the mold, everything in between. We're finally done. The dot stage for the rest of the week. Taking down the fence was probably the most insane part of the whole thing. Taking down the army truck was fun, but then it was like taking it down after the part. You know, trying to separate the chicken wire from the wood, because I want to use the wood for firewood. A lot of it's just too rotted, too moldy and stuff to really do for anything else. And it's probably going to have to sit outside after I separate, after like clean it and cut it, before I even put it in my wood chip, because the amount of mold that's on it, I'm not worried about actually honestly cutting it until like later in the year or even next year. So I currently have it sitting next to my wood chip pile, which you'll see a photo of. That's my wood chip pile. So that's probably going to sit for a while. I'll take the signs off and obviously everything else. I got a lot of new cuts today. I got a nice one here, and then one on my thumb here. It was funny too, like I'm like doing stuff, and all I saw was like these weird droplets coming off me, and I thought it was sweat and it was blood. But you just keep pushing through, you know. That's what happens when you're messing with sharp metal and shit. You just gotta, you know, take the punches where it comes. I got a cut up here, which is great, right by my arm fat. I got this cut here, and I got a cut over here, and probably a couple cuts on my face. That is what it is. So I've been sitting in the shade, taking breaks. I've been listening to music. I am completely and utterly covered in dirt and dust. I don't know if you guys can see that at all. I am completely dirty right now. Shirt and shorts. You know, I love this tank top. I love these shorts, but they're completely saturated with sweat and dirt. I've been out here for quite a bit. It's about 1:45 in the afternoon right now. It is Saturday, June 16th of 2026. Remodeling the growing space, taking it to a different level. Now I hope everybody kind of enjoys what I'm doing, because you could see as this one person is doing it. I literally have no crew. My mother's too old to help me. I got friends that are too busy to answer my help, but that's fine. You know what, I like doing it myself, because it's more of an exciting feeling, I guess, for a stupid lack of words. I built it myself with the help of my mother at the time, and we have a new catbird that's over there. Every time I go to film it, it runs away. But right now that I've completely mowed everything down, now everything is actually really really nice. So I don't know if you guys can see the catbird with the black top on its head, but it's currently out here hanging out with me the whole time. You can hear the birds' songs are different now. So I have completely mowed down the whole section. What it looks like on camera is what it looks like in person. There is no filtering, there's no editing. I look like I'm in the Sahara Desert of hell. Obviously, the trees that we're keeping, not the tree that's next to the barrel. That's a tree that I just can't stop. So I'm going to get rid of that. The catmint that's over here, that catmint has to be over 15 years old and then some. It's been transplanted multiple times, and I was afraid while doing this I was going to lose my bees. But apparently my bees really love the catmint, and they have no problem with me running a lawnmower, or myself, in the vicinity of them. Look at my bees. Look at them all. They're just being along. They're just grabbing that beautiful nectar. All kinds of bees. There's this little guy. Alright, buddy, not bothering you. See, they don't sting me at all. Probably also because I smell like beer, sweat, and bad decisions. What do you want? So yeah, I went down as far as I could. I went up and over this mound, and I do have the blueberry still to take out. The catmint, I'm going to kind of like push it up a little bit because the way it lays down on the ground. So I'm actually going to have to fold it up to actually get it to where I want around the the landscape fabric. Where are you going there, buddy? He's picking bugs out of here, which is great. Now, this is why I don't have ticks at all on my property. I don't know if anybody can see that. Right there, this little guy. He's been trying to dunk the worms in my beer. What are you doing? You're watching me. Alright, cool. Anyway, so obviously there's a lot of tags on the ground. I'm not picking them up. There's also a lot of wood chips. It's kind of hard to vacuum them up with the lawnmower. Yes, I said vacuuming up. The lawnmower does. Originally I started putting it in bags, and I was just like, this is going to be insane. So I just started like putting it up against my fence, which works out perfect. So what's great too is after I completely do this, and obviously I got a little bit more to go, but I'm a little burnt out right now. So I'm going to take a break because it is the end of the week for this stage. The next stage is coming next week, which might take 2 weeks. Hopefully I could do it in 1 week, but I think it's probably going to take 2 weeks, is leveling. I have to level this whole property. Now, even up onto here. Now, in case anybody's new to the channel, what this actually was back in the day, way before I bought this house, the previous owner had a swimming pool. That's all this is a swimming pool. And the swimming pool caved in. They didn't want to spend the money to fix it, so it was cheaper for them to fill it in with soil and rocks and stone and who knows what else they put back in there. And back in the day, there could be a UFO down here for all I know, or even like a container of plutonium that I've been looking for, so I could put it into my army truck and I could go back in time and change a lot of my past. So it was really hard to actually even grow in here. And it was funny too, because I originally started off with sheets of plywood on this area because I didn't know if I can grow into it. So I started off with sheets of plywood and I had planters on it. I said, okay, that's cool, that's great, but what if I put like a raised bed? So I built these raised beds, made videos of it, filled them full of soil, and now they're full of weeds and crap and everything under the sun. So that's why the changing of this is going to be very amazing, because whoa, I thought you were flying straight at my head. I literally thought it was coming at me. The changing of this is I'm going to level it all out, put the weed barrier down, put 2 layers down, plus the artificial grass, and then I'm going to be putting raised beds on it. Now, a lot of the raised beds you guys are going to see are going to be a little different. Now, it's not, some of them are actually going to be a raised bed where they're made out of metal. And then I found that Keeter, the same company that makes the sheds that are great, which I wish I had one. I think I might have, but I know I had one years ago when I was a kid at our old house. And they make raised elevated beds. So there's a raised bed where if my thumb is the soil and my finger here is the top of the bed, this is a raised bed. So it's sitting on top of the soil. Then there's the elevated bed, which is just going to be weird, but this is like the bottom of the legs sitting on the top of the soil, and the bed sits up here. Look it up in case you don't know what it is. Elevated raised beds, honestly, I feel like is a better choice for me, just because I wanted to get it away from the ground. I don't have to worry. So the reason I know I talk a lot, and then my brain just starts like flooding my mouth full of information. But the reasoning why, originally when I started the fence, I know I transition super quickly and I lose people, was because I was trying to keep rabbits and ducks out. Rabbits I get from all the time. Raccoons will cross through my neighborhood. They will never deal with the plants. I got cameras and stuff, and I'll hear screams in the middle of the night. It sounds like somebody's being murdered in my backyard, and it's a raccoon talking to themselves. Also, squirrels make very interesting sounds as well. But also, I have a few rabbits. They're not mine, but they come through my area. And you listen to me there, buddy? I'm thinking about putting a water bowl out here, because you're not interested in the bees or me at all. You just like hanging out here with me for some weird reason. That bird right there. But nevertheless, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. So the rabbits, I realized after I was taking stuff off the ground, the rabbits don't deal with it. The only problem I was having with the fence was, honestly, the leaves and crap that was getting stuck behind it, and it was horrible. So I was like, I gotta get rid of the fence. And I'm like looking online, I'm looking at people's different plays, what they have, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, everybody's got these beautiful raised beds, beautiful raised elevated beds. Their space is a lot cleaner. Some people use wood chips, some people use stone, some people use just soil. But I'm tired of dealing with the weeds. The weeds is honestly like the biggest pain in my ass. So what I want to do is just put down the landscape fabric, put down artificial grass, put the beds on top of it. And also, another cool thing too, is I found a sprinkler system that allows me to run soakers with a solid line in between. I was afraid the company was going to either stop selling on Amazon, so I bought a shit ton of it. This is not a cheap activity, but if you're doing this under a payment plan on Amazon using an Amazon credit card, it's a lot cheaper for people who can't afford spending over $20,000. Not what I'm thinking this is going to be, but we're already at $1,300 and we haven't even got to that stage yet. So don't overwhelm yourself thinking that you can't do this. You could always find cheaper options, but then like I did, those cheaper options sometimes will actually screw you over, because now you're doing this. And you know, I've been growing like this for probably over about 5 years now, just growing, and then started filming with stuff, and then growing throughout the years, and didn't really do much with it. But I like to kind of show people my success and my failures, so in case it's inspired somebody else. Because there's a lot of growing channels out there that you see, you're like, wow, that's a really nice space. It must have cost them like $100,000. Probably close to it. That's the way I look at it. I'm trying to do this as low budget as possible. Plain. Your time. I'm trying to do this as low budget as possible, and also as affordable as possible. So I'm literally trying to figure out if I could float this every weekend or every couple weekends, because you gotta pay those bills. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry to drown out with all this stuff over and over again, and if I'm rambling, I'm sorry. I like to try to get as much information out as possible, as I have a new bird in my area that we've never had before. So it's got black on its head, and it's been hanging out with me out here for some oddball reason, and likes to sit by Pearlie's grave. Not saying it's Pearl came back as a bird, but if she did, it'd be really funny, because there was one time a chickadee got caught inside of trapped inside my greenhouse. I had these trap things. I thought stuff was getting in there. I had a chickadee, and I pulled the chickadee out. It was a tiny little chickadee, and I brought it in the house, and my mother's like, no, Pearl's gonna eat the bird. No, what Pearl did, because she was so sweet and sensitive, she went to go smell the bird, because she was curious of what it was, because it was in my hand, and the little tiny chickadee was like, fuck you, and bit Pearl on the nose. Pearl looked at me, and the bird looked at me, and I was like, wow, you got some balls. So if Pearl came back as a bird, that'd be really funny as hell, because I'm surprised you know, in a mythological way, she would come back and bite me on the nose. So who knows? If I get bit on the nose, you guys will know. Yeah, I gotta take a shower, and I gotta get rid of the garbage with the army truck. I gotta get the lawnmower back up front, dump the bag, and that's gonna be it for today. So hope everybody likes, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. Get out there and grow something. And if you're contemplating on redoing your space, this is the perfect year to do it. If you're on Long Island, New York, in Zone 7A, because what was it, Thursday and Friday was in the hundreds, and today is Saturday. It's in the 80s, and the rest of the next 2 weeks are going to be in the 70s and 80s, which is great. So I could really get into this a little bit more, because I really don't need to kill myself. The raspberry bush I completely mowed down, in case you guys are wondering. The blueberry I'm going to pull out, but the raspberry, I got so much raspberry on the other side of my property that's red, yellow, and what was it, red, yellow, and orange or something like that, that I really honestly do not need more raspberry bushes. So I mowed them down. I'm gonna have to rip them out because they're gonna go right up through the fabric. So now that they're mowed down, they're in this cluster here, and the cluster here, the cluster here, the cluster there, little cluster there. So I'm gonna pull them out, throw them off to the side. They'll come back. They're very hardy plants. You can't really kill them. Some oddball reason. I did run over my asparagus because it hasn't done anything in like 3 years for whatever reason. So I'm going to buy new asparagus plants, and I'm going to show you some cool stuff down the line. Yada, 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 yada. That's it for the video. This is Mike from Growtopia. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. And stay tuned. Every Sunday there will be a new video. Oh!